The alien research vessel Vorath Prime floated quietly above the rocky surface of planet Kin 7. The world below was empty, covered in strange gray sand and tall black stones that looked like frozen lightning bolts. Deep inside the ship, dozens of alien scientists worked around a large holographic table that displayed thousands of glowing golden symbols. These were the ancient symbols of the precursor race, markings found deep inside an ancient ruin on the planet's surface. No one in the galaxy had ever been able to read them. They were said to hold the secrets of the first civilization that had walked among the stars. The alien crew had been studying the symbols for hours. The air inside the research chamber was thick with stress. Long blue fingers tapped on glowing screens. Their machines hummed as they tried to find patterns. Every few minutes, a frustrated voice broke the silence as another test failed. The aliens were tired, but they didn't stop. Their mission was too important. The Vorath Prime had been sent by the Varn Dominion, one of the most powerful empires in the galaxy. They believed these symbols could unlock technology beyond imagination, something that could change the balance of power forever. Tarvik, the chief linguist of the ship, stood in front of the display. His tall, slender body looked tense, and the dark scales along his neck glowed faintly with irritation. 17 hours, he said in a low, tired voice. We've been at this for 17 hours. The quantum cipher engines have gone through 12 trillion combinations, and still nothing makes sense. Another alien scientist turned from her console. The symbols change meaning every time we try a new pattern. It's like they're alive, she said, frustration in her tone. Tarvik sighed, his eyes narrowing. If we can't solve it, no one can. The Varn Dominion has the best minds in the galaxy. He paused for a moment, then added almost mockingly, those humans watching us, they would need centuries to understand even a single mark. In the far corner of the lab, a small group of humans exchanged glances. They were guests, part of an interspecies academic exchange program between Earth and the Dominion. The aliens had allowed them to observe the research, though mostly out of politeness. Few in the galaxy took humans seriously. To most alien species, humans were newcomers, young, emotional, and inexperienced. Among the human group stood Dr. Elena Ross, a young archaeolinguist from Earth's New Geneva Institute. She was in her early 30s with calm brown eyes and an observant mind. While the aliens worked in silence, she had been quietly studying the holographic symbols, her tablet open on her lap. When the aliens finally decided to take a short rest, Elena approached the hologram. The golden symbols shifted slowly in the air, glowing with a faint inner light. Her eyes followed the shapes, circles, spirals, and patterns that repeated in odd but familiar ways. These aren't random, she said softly, almost to herself. Her colleague, a tall man named Daniel, leaned over her shoulder. You see something? He asked quietly. Elena nodded slowly. Yes, these shapes follow a rhythm. See this curve here and here? The spacing between them isn't random, it's proportional. They follow a mathematical sequence, something like the Fibonacci pattern we use in human mathematics. Daniel frowned. You think the precursors used our math? Not exactly, she said, her mind racing. But maybe they used the same logic. Patterns that repeat in nature, spirals, symmetry, ratios. Maybe that's the key. Tarvik, noticing the humans murmuring, turned his head with mild annoyance. Do you think your primitive numerals will help, human? He asked coldly. Elena looked up but didn't reply to the insult. She kept studying the symbols. Her fingers moved quickly as she redrew them on her tablet, organizing them into groups of 5, then 8. As she did, something began to make sense. The symbols didn't represent words at all, they were instructions. She tapped the screen. These symbols might not be a language, she said suddenly. They look more like code, like steps in a process. The aliens turned to look at her. Tarvik's eyes glimmered with disbelief. Code? The precursor race existed millions of years before computation. That's impossible. Elena shook her head. Maybe for you. But think about it. Every intelligent mind finds structure, whether through sound, movement, or numbers. Maybe the precursors used something closer to programming logic. If that's true, then we're looking at a set of instructions, not text. For a moment, no one spoke. Then reluctantly, the alien captain gestured for her to continue. Show us, he said, curiosity overcoming pride. Elena took a deep breath. Her hands moved across her screen, rearranging the symbols according to numerical order, symmetry, and repetition. She applied human logic to an alien puzzle, something no one else had tried. The alien scientists watched silently, their holograms adjusting as her commands changed the structure of the runes. Minutes passed. 10. Then 15. The pattern began to shift into something entirely new. Lines connected, circles merged, and the golden light in the room grew brighter. Finally, Elena stepped back. "Try activating this sequence," she said. Tarvek hesitated but obeyed. He tapped a few controls, entering the pattern exactly as she had arranged it. The room fell silent. Then, the holographic projection came alive. The golden runes spun faster and faster, joining together into a sphere of brilliant light that floated in the center of the room. Everyone stepped back as a soft vibration filled the air. The light expanded and pulsed gently like a heartbeat. Then a calm, echoing voice spoke. Not from any speaker, but from everywhere at once. "Welcome, children of Earth, you were never forgotten." No one moved. The alien stared at the glowing sphere in disbelief. The voice continued, speaking in a language that every being could somehow understand directly in their minds. "You have awakened the path. The knowledge of the builders is now open to those who remember their origin." Streams of light shot out from the sphere, connecting to the Vorath Prime's data systems. The ship's computers began to fill with unknown data. Maps, star coordinates, blueprints for machines that defied physics. The alien crew rushed to their consoles, watching as the impossible unfolded before them. Tarvek could barely speak. This is impossible. We tried for 17 hours and achieved nothing. And the humans, she solved it in 20 minutes. Elena's face was pale with awe. She whispered, "They left this for us. For humanity." The alien captain looked at her, his voice shaking slightly. "Why would the message greet you and not us?" Elena hesitated, staring at the sphere. "Maybe because humans share something with them. Maybe the builders, the precursors, were connected to our evolution somehow. Maybe we're their descendants, or their legacy." The sphere of light began to change shape again, showing an enormous map of the galaxy. Strange symbols marked dozens of star systems. The aliens watched in stunned silence. The symbols translated themselves automatically into the human alphabet, something that had never happened before. Every alien in the room realized the same thing at once. The precursor technology recognized humans. It had been waiting for them. The captain stepped closer to Elena. "Do you understand what this means?" She nodded slowly, her eyes wide with wonder. "It means humans weren't just late arrivals to the stars. We were meant to find them." A quiet stillness filled the chamber as the sphere floated closer to Elena. It shimmered once, then dissolved into a beam of light that touched her tablet. Lines of new data filled the screen. Schematics, languages, energy equations no one had ever seen. Daniel whispered, "Elena, what just happened?" She took a slow breath. "It gave us a message, a map, maybe even a test." Tarvek watched, his pride replaced by quiet respect. "Perhaps," he said slowly. "The galaxy has underestimated your kind." Elena looked at the faintly glowing screen in her hands. "Maybe," she said softly, "but we didn't come here to compete. We came to understand." Outside the ship, the barren world of Kin 7 remained silent, unaware that something ancient had just awakened. Deep below its surface, the ruins of the precursor civilization began to glow faintly, as if responding to the humans' discovery. For the first time in galactic history, the secret that had resisted every alien mind had been solved, not by machines or ancient empires, but by human curiosity and pattern-seeking thought. And as the ship's sensors picked up new energy readings from the planet's core, one truth became clear to everyone aboard the Vorath Prime. Humanity was not just another young race among the stars. They were something older, something unexpected, and engaging. The galaxy had been quiet for centuries, with civilizations rising and falling without much contact. But on Kin 7, inside the Vorath Prime, the discovery of the ancient symbols had shifted everything. News traveled faster than light through alien communication networks. The fact that humans had solved what no other species could, even the Varn Dominion, caused ripples of disbelief and curiosity across dozens of systems. In the human observation deck, Elena Ross and her team were still absorbing the events. Every second seemed surreal. She touched her tablet carefully, watching as the holographic data of the precursors unfolded. Star maps with unknown constellations, Strange energy schematics and designs for ships that could move through space faster than thought appeared before her eyes. Her heart raced with excitement and responsibility. She understood that humans were now at the center of a discovery that could change the course of the galaxy. Daniel, her colleague, leaned over her shoulder. "Elena, do you realize what this means? Every empire, every advanced species out there, they've all failed at what we just did. And we did it. Without decades of technology, without centuries of study." Elena nodded slowly. "It's not just that we solved the puzzle. It's what the precursors left behind. They weren't testing strength or intelligence, they were testing pattern recognition, intuition, creativity. Something unique to humans." Tarvek and the alien captain entered the observation room. The captain's expression was unreadable, but Elena could feel the weight of his respect. "Dr. Ross," he said, "it seems your species has something we never considered. We underestimated humans." "Severely." Elena smiled faintly. "Perhaps you did. But it's not just me. It's all of humanity. Curiosity, observation, imagination, that's what the precursors seem to have valued." Outside the ship, the barren surface of Kin 7 began to shimmer faintly. The ruins where the symbols had been found were responding to the activation. Hidden energy grids beneath the planet's crust began to hum. A faint vibration traveled through the ship's hull, and the alien scientists stared at their instruments in disbelief. Tarvek spoke softly, almost to himself. "It is as if the planet itself recognizes them. The humans." Elena moved to the window and watched the ruins glow like a constellation. "It's a message," she whispered. "They left this for humans, not for empires, not for machines, for us. Maybe they predicted that we would be the ones to unlock it." The captain, still silent, activated his console. Alien communication networks lit up, transmitting signals across multiple systems. Soon, other alien civilizations began to send ships to Kin 7, curious, cautious, and sometimes suspicious. The humans on the Vorath Prime realized that what they had unlocked was more than knowledge. It was a test of trust. Days passed aboard the research ship. Elena and her team worked tirelessly, decoding star maps and energy diagrams. With each discovery, they realized the precursors had left more than just technology. They had left instructions for coexistence, ways to navigate difficult regions of space safely, methods to harness energy from stars and black holes, and even codes for communication that could unite different species peacefully. Meanwhile, the alien crew grew more observant, studying how the humans approached the symbols. They watched as Elena noticed subtle relationships between the data points, how energy flowed, how mathematical patterns repeated in unexpected ways. The aliens, brilliant in their own right, had relied on brute computational power for centuries. Humans relied on something the aliens couldn't easily quantify: intuition and imagination. One evening, Elena stayed alone in the observation deck, staring at a three-dimensional projection of the galaxy. Streams of light connected hundreds of star systems, many of which humans had never visited or even known about. As she traced the paths with her finger, a realization struck her. "This isn't just technology," she murmured. "It's guidance. A roadmap for species to grow together, to share knowledge and energy, without destroying each other." At that moment, the captain entered the room quietly. "Dr. Ross," he said, his voice calmer than usual, "the other civilizations are beginning to understand what has happened. Some are curious, some are fearful. Many wish to speak directly with humans now. They want answers." Elena nodded. "They'll have answers. But first, they need to see that humans can handle this knowledge responsibly, that we are not here to conquer or manipulate, but to learn and share." As the days turned into weeks, delegations from alien worlds arrived. Initially, most of them were skeptical, some even hostile. Representatives from the Zenari Empire demanded to know why humans had been chosen, insisting that their species had far more experience in the galaxy. Others, like the Siler Collective, quietly observed, fascinated by how quickly humans understood the symbols. Elena, Daniel, and the rest of the human team began holding discussions with these alien delegates. Using the decoded precursor data, they demonstrated safe ways to harness energy and navigate dangerous regions of space. Slowly, tension turned into curiosity. Slowly, skepticism turned into admiration. During one session, Tarvek stood beside Elena, watching as a group of alien scientists followed her instructions to stabilize a volatile energy grid. "They are remarkable," he admitted quietly. "They do not rely solely on computation. They think differently. They see connections where we see only separation." Elena smiled. "It's what we've always done in small ways. We look for patterns, we experiment, we imagine. The precursors must have known that humans would be able to see what others cannot. One evening, the humans were given access to a final set of symbols, the core instructions of the precursor network. As Elena began decoding them, she realized these were not only technological instructions, they were also a message of guidance. The precursors had anticipated future conflicts among species, future dangers in deep space, and had designed a system that would allow intelligent civilizations to work together instead of against each other. When the message was fully revealed, a projection filled the observation chamber, a constellation of stars, each glowing in different colors, representing worlds, species, and civilizations. A single path connected them all, showing that the galaxy could function as a network, not as isolated powers in constant conflict. The humans understood the full weight of the message. "They believed in us," Elena said softly, looking at the glowing map. "They trusted humans to share this knowledge, to lead the galaxy toward cooperation rather than destruction." The alien captain stepped forward. "Dr. Ross, it seems the precursors recognized something in humans that no one else did. Perhaps humanity is the bridge species we never expected." Elena nodded. "Maybe we are, but we have to prove that we are worthy. Knowledge alone is not enough. It is what we do with it that matters." Over the following months, humans became the center of a unique coalition. Alien species who once competed for dominance now collaborated to learn from the precursor data. Humans acted as guides and mediators, showing how intuition and creativity could complement computation and raw power. Slowly, the galaxy began to change. Trade routes opened between civilizations that had never met. Scientific knowledge spread faster than ever before. Conflicts that would have taken centuries to resolve were solved through cooperation and understanding. Elena often walked along the observation deck, watching the stars of Kin 7 glow faintly below. The ruins of the precursor civilization were still alive in a sense, their hidden energies quietly acknowledging the humans' work. She realized that humanity's true gift was not just intelligence or curiosity, but the ability to connect, to see patterns and meaning where others could not. Daniel joined her one evening, looking out at the glowing ruins. "Do you think the precursors knew we would find this?" he asked. Elena smiled faintly. "I think they did. And I think they knew humans would make the right choice, not because we are perfect, but because we have something unique, hope, curiosity, and the ability to see possibilities where others see only limits." In the years that followed, humanity became known across the stars not as conquerors or invaders, but as the species who had unlocked the precursor knowledge, the species who showed the galaxy that cooperation, creativity, and curiosity could achieve what brute force never could. And as humans looked back at Kin 7, at the ruins that had first revealed their potential, they understood one truth that no alien could ever fully grasp. The galaxy had underestimated humanity for centuries, but now, they had shown the universe what humans were truly capable of. The stars shimmered with possibility, and humanity's journey was only beginning.